Whether you're the driver or the pedestrian, crosswalk safety is important. For many students and their parents, transitioning from summer break to another semester back at school can be stressful, but the fun doesn't have to end just because you walk back into the classroom. Some kids here in the East are learning more about farm animals and farm safety. By volunteering their time and services, a group of young men here in the East are helping people with their lawn care, but they're also working to better their community. One fire department here in the East is now using speed bumps to better ensure safety while on the roads. Nearly 10,000 acres are burning here in Hyde County, as you can see right down here, and fire officials say this fire is only growing. In addition to all the rides and vendors, there's also free watermelon for everyone here, and just like Winterville's motto says, it really is a slice of the good life. When you're walking through the maze and you get to a fork in the road like this one, there might be a checkpoint nearby, but if you keep answering the trivia questions correctly and use the GPS on your phone, you might just make it out of the corn maze. More than 70 community college students here in the East are spending their spring break by helping others. I'm Mackenzie Roberts, and I'll have that story coming up. Hi, I'm Mackenzie Roberts, WITN reporter. To me, America means the power to choose your own life's path. It means home. There's so much to enjoy here, from coffee shops and country music to Sunday mornings at church. I'm in the Irish Creek neighborhood where trick-or-treating has already begun, and as you can see behind me, people here are taking this holiday very seriously. And when Santa asks if you've been good or bad, what are you going to say?
Good.
All right, he's been good. But Hop says officers are already actively enforcing these new stop signs, and I can vouch for that as I've seen several people get pulled over in the last hour and just in the last few minutes, like this guy, for not stopping at these stop signs. Reporting live in Snow Hill, I'm Mackenzie Roberts, WITN News.
And you can hear the sirens, and I'm running right through there, so take your time.
I'm standing along Highway 258 North now, where the Lenoir County SPCA will be relocated once the necessary funds are raised. And thanks to a community effort this morning, they're now more than $1,000 closer to their goal. You might have to stop in the parking lot or cross through a grassy area, and those are full of ice, so you want to be very careful. I've tried not to slip and fall so far this morning, but I've had several close encounters.
We are members of ECU!
We stormed the stadium!
3, 2, 1, head out!
Police cars, tractors, and some crowd favorites like
The fire trucks, a garbage truck.
filled the Physicians East parking lot in Greenville Saturday. This is all part of the Touch a Truck event, which allows children to climb on fire trucks, pretend to drive a bus, ride in a bucket truck, learn more about our WITN live truck, honk horns, and rev it up on motorcycles.
You're awesome.
5-year-old Urady is not just coloring and playing. She's learning how to put an IV in the doll's hand.
You found it? Where? Where is it? Right there?
And talking about the process, one she's already experienced. She says her nurses made her feel comfortable, and she wants to treat her doll the same way.
Because they can feel my heart, how it looks like, and give me a shot. We're helping the people get money for the SPCA. Help raise money for others, even if they're not the same species.
Because, well, one, my dad has it, and two, I don't like sickness. I'd like the world to be free of sickness.
I want people to be happy after this shield because I was helping.
I love this pool because it's near my house, and I know a lot of friends in Washington, and it's good that we can have the practice, and I'm just hoping it won't close.
Yeah, after school I gotta go all the way to Greenville to the ECU pool, and that won't be that's a long ways from here.
You would have a fun time in the kiddie pool and the big pool. It's just lots of fun.
We can be pen pals.
Yeah, we should write each other cards.
I'll write to the newsroom, and you can write to the weather center.
Yeah, we can have a little mailbox set up.
Absolutely, love it.
And Charlie, you told us earlier, you
Yes.
know what the groundhog's going to do.
So if the ground, at this point, at least for, I think it's Sir Walter Wally of Raleigh, North Carolina, if
Shouts of joy could be heard along Atlantic Beach on New Year's Day as more than 700 people ran into the ocean for the 14th annual Penguin Plunge. 5-year-old Hayden Drake is in remission for leukemia and lives in Pitt County with his family. But now people from across the state, the country, and the world are familiar with his name, all because his family asked people to send him a Christmas card. And after that request for cards circulated on the news, people in our community are now doing much more than just that.
For many people, the sound of sirens and the sight of flashing lights and law enforcement officials can be worrisome. But for 5-year-old Hayden Drake and his parents, these officers come bearing gifts. Item after item and box after box were sorted by food product and then prepared for distribution to food partners in the 10 counties that make up the Food Bank's Greenville region.
I think we always dreamed of playing and we just got to see them. We used to come to concerts here and see bands. And it's always been a dream of ours. I don't think we ever really thought it would happen, but we made it.
It's just really cool. It's something we always dreamed of. It's something that I don't know, words can't describe it.
Clayton, for the first time ever, Northside High School seniors wore the traditional garb as they ceremoniously marched through 2 elementary schools, hoping to reflect and encourage.
You could feel the excitement as younger students cheered for the Northside High School seniors and their mascot as they paraded through Bath and Northeast elementary schools, which are K through 8 in Beaufort County Thursday morning.
It encourages us, I think, to achieve more and do better, so we can do that.
It makes me realize that that's only 4 years away, and it's kind of exciting to know that that's coming up really close.
It feels amazing. I'm surrounded by everyone I love, and we're all happy, and it's just awesome. I'm totally excited for the future.
And whether they were young pirates, marching pirates, or loud pirates, almost everybody seemed excited for Senior Day.
Now, you might have noticed in the video there that Bazemore was wearing a shirt with the number 499 on the back. He says that's because he was ranked 499 out of 500 his rookie year. And after signing a 4-year, $70 million contract last month, he's no longer among the NBA's obscure players.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The sound of senior baseball can once again be heard at Kafer Park in New Bern as the Orioles take on the Pirates for opening day. Take a look at the different perspectives of sober and drunk driving. More than 90 teens and their parents were able to experience this difference by driving golf carts, both with and without these impairment goggles. They were also able to experience speeding and crashing through this Highway Patrol simulator.
David Lynette, I'm already sweating just standing out under this sun for a few minutes. But first responders, they deal with things like house fires and medical emergencies that require them to be active in a hot environment for sometimes hours at a time.
So our turnout gear is rated to withstand 2,000 degrees for a couple seconds, but generally we'll see 500-600 degree temperatures in the house.
And after trying on the turnout gear myself, I can tell you it's heavy and it's hot. So much so, Klontz offered me a bottle of water to stay hydrated, something he says everyone should be doing no matter what their profession.
Will you say, wow, look at this background performance. Whoa.
This is the sound you hear when volunteer firefighters at departments like Shine Fire and EMS and Snow Hill Rural Fire Department are on their way to try and help someone. But now it's your turn to consider helping them.
A lot of times people don't realize how much it takes to run a fire department, and when you can donate small things like water, it really hits home, and it really makes us feel appreciated and thanked.
Every little bit helps, and a $3 case of water can help us out tremendously.
In this turnout gear, it's even hotter. I'm Mackenzie Roberts, and I'll tell you how firefighters and first responders are trying to stay cool in this heat.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, seeing a school bus laying on its side with shattered glass on the ground. Thankfully, this is just part of a training day for members of Pinetown Fire Rescue EMS, the City of Washington Fire Rescue EMS, and Old Ford, Bunyan, Mid-County, and Gates Volunteer Fire Departments, coordinated by Beaufort County Community College.
Firefighters are here training during Public Safety Weekend, so when they get in a real situation, they'll know exactly what to do. The Council on Aging says in order to continue feeding the hungry, they need some help.
Jim Markello and his daughter Andrea drive across Pitt County in the rain on Tuesday to deliver a hot meal, a carton of milk, and a newspaper to homebound senior citizens.
I just love it. I look forward to it, It's good for us old folks. Somebody to talk to.
People like me can't cook, and it'd be good for people that's handicapped.
Friends and family members cried as Howard Dudley took his first steps out of the Lenoir County Jail as a free man.
It feels great. I'm excited, and I look forward to us moving on.
This is the sound of Highway Patrol Trooper Ashley Smith pulling over a truck for going 70 miles per hour in a 55 zone. Moments later, this is the sound of a $220 citation.
It's kind of like being home. You get a home-cooked meal. You get to enjoy time with some people that understand what you're going through.
We're just young people who aren't that significant in our eyes, and to have them invite us here and give us this dinner is really touching. Of course, I want to be home and see my family, but this is also, it's a good alternative.
With the day off from school because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, children spent Monday playing basketball, singing, and drawing at the Boys and Girls Club in Greenville. But for many families, a break from school isn't always good news.
You heard a lot of the kids and the families say that they couldn't wait to go back to school because they were being fed.
Panting and jumping for joy, Angel's tail is wagging and her tongue is flapping in the heat.
She loves to run and play. She has a lot of energy. She does well with other dogs. We would recommend a home, not with cats.
But it's been a journey for her to get here. Zachary Cleghorn moved to Greenville in 2013 after months of living in his car and relying on a local soup kitchen in Charlotte for food. When he confided in a friend that he was feeling suicidal, depressed, and suffering from PTSD after 8 months in Afghanistan, he was encouraged to move here and start over. And now that's exactly what he's done. When Zachary Cleghorn posted this picture on LinkedIn 2 weeks ago, he never imagined he'd get more than 120,000 likes and more than 8,000 comments, mostly thanking him for sharing his story.
All this time that I had put into making my life better, you know, it really made a difference. You know, anybody can do anything if you actually set your mind to it and you don't give up on life.
After several reports of drugs and cell phones being found here at the Bertie Correctional Facility, officers with the Windsor Police Department have been conducting a surveillance for more than a month. Now, 2 men are behind bars for smuggling in those very items onto prison grounds, but officers say they're still looking for one more. Aerial volunteers with Carolina Waterfowl Rescue, which is a nonprofit organization out of Charlotte, are out here working with the Lenoir County Sheriff's Office and animal control officials to inspect and photograph all of the birds before preparing to relocate them. Darren Armstrong takes me for a ride in his combine as he tries to harvest the remaining corn on his Hyde County farm. But our ride is cut short when the combine gets stuck in the mud. Some people in this area still don't have power, and others say they haven't been back to their homes in more than a week. Now, for some of them, it's because they physically can't get to their houses, but for others, it's because they can't stand to see what's become of the place they call home. Rushing water is still flowing across Spring Hill and Heritage Street in Kinston, flooding the road and the back of this park. Just across Queen Street, there are also several roads that are closed or impassable because of flooding, including parts of Lincoln Street where Kathy Morrell lives.
I just look up and just have faith and not look at what I see. I had to do that a whole lot during this flood right here, not look at my situation because it could have been, you know, my life.
While getting some video of the crime scene this morning, we actually stumbled upon the open safe. We looked a little closer to see that the hand truck was lying right beside it, just across the train tracks.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. Now E, it's even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
In Greenville, I'm Mackenzie Roberts, WITN News.